You swing your feet out of bed, and the moment your big toe touches the floor, a sharp, burning pain shoots through your joint. It feels like stepping directly onto a pile of broken glass. Your immediate assumption is, I ate a steak 2 nights ago. So you cut out red meat, eliminate seafood, and live on salads, assuming your joint pain will vanish. Except weeks later, your blood test shows your uric acid is still sitting high above the optimal baseline, and the morning stiffness in your feet returns. For many people, the problem isn't simply how much purine they eat. It is how much uric acid their body produces and how efficiently their kidneys excrete it. The medical dogma told you this is an intake problem, but the biological reality is that dietary purines from whole foods account for only a modest fraction of your total circulating pool. The vast majority is manufactured internally by your liver and actively managed by your kidneys. You don't just have an intake problem, you have an exit problem. Your kidneys are designed to filter and flush uric acid smoothly into your urine. But when specific modern metabolic signals hijack your filtering pathways, the exit gates are effectively clamped shut. And the surprising part is what controls that exit gate. It isn't the protein on your plate. It is driven by a hidden metabolic fuel that most people consume every single day without realizing it. That fuel is liquid fructose. When you drink commercial sodas, fruit juices, sweetened coffees, or processed condiments, that concentrated fructose hits your liver in a concentrated tidal wave. Unlike glucose, which can be utilized by every cell in your body, fructose must be cleared almost entirely by your liver. Inside your liver cells, processing fructose burns through cellular energy at a rapid pace, converting active ATP into AMP in a matter of minutes. This sudden energy crash accelerates internal purine breakdown, triggering an immediate surge in uric acid synthesis. That is why someone can stop eating meat entirely, but if they drink a single glass of sweetened juice each morning, their liver continues pumping out uric acid around the clock. At the exact same time, rapid liquid sugar absorption drives up circulating insulin. High baseline insulin acts directly on your kidneys, stimulating a specific reabsorption gate known as the URAT1 transporter. Think of URAT1 as a one-way security turnstile. Instead of letting uric acid flush out into your bladder, the insulin signal commands URAT1 to grab the acid and pump it straight back into your bloodstream. The first priority to reopen this pathway is straightforward. Eliminate all liquid fructose, high fructose corn syrups, and commercial sweetened drinks. Whole fruits containing intact fiber matrices are absorbed slowly and do not create this rapid hepatic energy crash. Cutting liquid fructose shuts off the primary trigger, driving internal uric acid overproduction at the source. Now, lowering liver production stops new acid from flooding your circulation. But if your urinary environment remains intensely acidic, the existing acid cannot clear smoothly. This brings us to the crucial role of urinary pH. When urine pH sits in a highly acidic zone below 5.5, uric acid struggles to stay dissolved in liquid. It readily precipitates into microscopic acidic sediment, placing localized chemical strain across your renal tubules. However, when you gently support your urinary pH toward a neutral range of 6.2 to 6.8, the chemical solubility of uric acid increases dramatically, allowing your kidneys to flush it out as a clear liquid without tubular irritation. To support this chemical balance, start your morning with 16 ounces of room temperature water mixed with the fresh juice of half a lemon. As your liver metabolizes natural citric acid into systemic potassium citrate and bicarbonate, it provides a gentle alkalizing buffer for your urinary excretion pathways. Pair this with a daily extract of Montmorency tart cherries. Tart cherries provide concentrated anthocyanins, bioactive plant compounds clinically demonstrated to support healthy hepatic enzyme balance and encourage smooth renal clearance.
Now, once your urinary environment is supported, there is another critical exit channel that most joint protocols completely overlook: your digestive tract. Clinical research demonstrates that roughly 1/3 of all daily uric acid excretion actually occurs through your gastrointestinal barrier. Inside your intestinal lining sits a specialized clearance pump called the ABCG2 transporter. Its physiological role is to move circulating uric acid out of the blood and into the digestive tract, where healthy gut bacteria assist in breaking it down into harmless byproducts. When your gut barrier is compromised by chronic stress or ultra-processed foods, this extra-renal exit slows down, shifting a disproportionate filtration burden directly onto your kidneys. To support this secondary pathway, introduce 500 milligrams of food-derived vitamin C alongside a diverse spectrum of soluble prebiotic fibers. Clinical trials indicate that vitamin C supports renal clearance dynamics, while prebiotic fiber nourishes the gut barrier, keeping both elimination pathways operating smoothly. Now, understanding these mechanisms helps explain a frustrating paradox: why many people experience their sharpest joint flare right after they start losing weight or adopting a strict fasting routine. When you rapidly mobilize body fat or enter ketosis, your liver produces high levels of circulating ketones, specifically beta-hydroxybutyrate. Ketones and uric acid utilize overlapping transport channels in the renal tubules. During acute metabolic adaptation, your kidneys temporarily prioritize clearing ketones, which can cause a short-term plateau in uric acid excretion. At the same time, as systemic inflammation drops, old microscopic crystal deposits can shift within joint cartilage, occasionally triggering localized sensitivity. This is not a sign that your lifestyle change failed, but rather a temporary clearance adaptation. Consistent mineralized hydration and gradual dietary transitions help smooth out this phase. Now, to know whether your joint discomfort is true crystal accumulation or standard mechanical wear, pay close attention to 3 specific physical signs. First, the speed of onset. Uric acid crystal flares strike with sudden velocity, frequently waking you from deep sleep between 2 and 4 in the morning, most commonly at the base of the big toe or the ankle. Second, localized heat. Active crystal deposition triggers a sharp immune response, leaving the joint visibly red, swollen, and radiant with heat. Third, touch sensitivity. During an acute flare, the joint is so hypersensitive that the light weight of a bedsheet resting on your foot feels agonizing. If your joint discomfort is a dull, progressive ache that worsens strictly with heavy physical movement and lacks acute heat, you are more likely looking at mechanical wear or osteoarthritis. When evaluating your progress with your physician, look beyond standard reference ranges. Conventional lab sheets often list values up to 7.0 milligrams per deciliter as normal. However, physical chemistry demonstrates that monosodium urate saturation begins occurring at 6.0 milligrams per deciliter at normal body temperature, and at even lower concentrations in cooler extremities like your toes. For long-term joint and microvascular protection, an optimal clinical target is generally below 6.0 and ideally between 4.5 and 5.5 milligrams per deciliter. Pair this with a fasting insulin test. If your uric acid is elevated and your fasting insulin is creeping above optimal baselines, your high uric acid is being driven primarily by insulin-mediated renal retention rather than dietary protein. Supporting renal clearance and joint resilience occurs across 3 distinct physiological phases. During the first 2 weeks of eliminating liquid fructose and supporting nocturnal insulin baselines, liver energy balance stabilizes and renal clearance efficiency begins to improve. Between weeks 4 and 8, as renal reabsorption signaling calms, serum uric acid levels trend steadily toward optimal baseline ranges, halting the formation of new crystal sediment in peripheral joints. Between months 3 and 6, maintained baseline levels allow your body to gradually dissolve and clear old, microscopic crystal deposits from joint cartilage, supporting long-term morning mobility. Executive summary and action protocol. Cut liquid fructose. Eliminate commercial sodas, fruit juices, and high fructose syrups to halt rapid liver energy depletion. Buffer urinary pH. Use morning lemon water and tart cherry extract to support urinary solubility. Support dual clearance. Use vitamin C and soluble prebiotic fiber to maintain both renal and intestinal excretion channels. Track objective labs. Aim for a serum uric acid target below 6.0 milligrams per deciliter alongside fasting insulin baselines. However, as your kidneys and digestive pathways work together to clear metabolic byproducts, there is another vital detoxification organ that must manage this daily processing load: your liver. If your liver's nighttime processing pathways are sluggish or congested with stored lipids, mobilized compounds can linger in your circulation, contributing to restless sleep, night sweats, and waking up unrefreshed at 3 a.m. Click the video on your screen right now to master the 3-minute nighttime routine that supports your liver's natural clearance cycle while you sleep.